How do we start it though? Just like that, hey? Hey, Daryl.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Daryl. Good to see you again. You're here. I don't know if anybody noticed or if you haven't watched our first episode yet, you can go back and see it. But when we were done
Yeah.
recording, Daryl had mentioned that it kind of looked like I might have looked like a kind of Disney character there with the way I had my discs set up. So in honor of that, I've come prepared with
There you
my
go.
R2D2 ears
That's
that I
almost,
picked up.
that's almost perfect. It's just
It act-
they look like they're just sitting on the shelf right now.
well, I'm not going to wear this the whole episode. I just thought you might get a kick out of that.
Okay.
Now, I know I threw this on you. We didn't discuss this. So put on your
Yeah.
thinking cap here and shoot some
Yeah.
holes in my idea.
The bit of a pause there was me taking a second to try and think the pros and the cons.
And all you can
I,
think of is how wonderful the idea is, right?
yeah, we'll end the episode there.
Yeah, no, no.
Or should I say, it could be partly my catchphrase? You know that I like your idea, but you're wrong.
Ouch.
I
So
don't
what?
know. I don't necessarily love the idea. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm just
Okay.
trying to think why I don't like it. I
Hey,
think
everybody. Welcome to Chain Out, the disc golf podcast for Canada. Nope, I'm not doing that one. I got lost. I got lost.
I could
I,
feel you were like searching for words.
I'm like, I went way beyond the simple thing.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again. 5 seconds. It'll just be simpler. I think what it is I don't know what
Episode 3?
it's episode 3, but do I want to call it the Chain Out or Welcome to Chain Out podcast? Episode 3, I think.
Chain Up Podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's how we've got it labeled. So.
Yeah.
With you. I'm Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Daryl.
Hello, everybody. How's it going, Jeremy?
Going well, Daryl. How about you? How you feeling, buddy?
I don't know. Can you tell? My voice is. I'm not. I got that bit of a sexy Barry White voice going on, I think.
Oh,
Or
you
just
say sexy Barry White. I was thinking maybe a little Phoebe Buffet smelly cat
Phoebe.
voice there.
Yeah.
Podcasting energy that we've got is like a healing energy. That's what I'm
There
going to
you
say.
go. Yeah. Channeling my inner Phoebe Buffet.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you on the next
Smelly
one.
cat,
Until
smelly
then, till then, Smelly Cat says, chain out.
Chain out.
There for it. But for me, I think what the difference is that if I have an errant shot at Nor'Wester, I'm gonna hit a car. A car is pretty strong. It's gonna my disc is gonna bounce off it. If I have an errant shot at the hills and
I know
hit
where
a
you're
person, it's gonna bounce off them, but it could do a lot more damage hitting a person. And I feel that those tight
Right.
lines, I'd rather go onto a road and hit a car or hit a truck or something like that than hit an actual person. So that's what I'm gonna use as my deciding factor of why I'd prefer to play Nor'Wester. Plus, Nor'Wester is gonna have the longer distance, all the things that we
Right.
talked about than the hills. But one of those things is I'd rather hit a car than hit a person.
That's a fair.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chain Out Podcast. I'm Jeremy, and with me, as always, is your favorite co-host, Daryl.
Favorite co-host?
Why, thank you, Daryl and Jeremy. I'm so happy to be on Chain Out Podcast with you, and glad that you were able to invite me. I'm really excited to tell you a lot about what. Oh, I'm not the guest that you were expecting to have on the show tonight. How did you know?
That's the thing. So I had a huge mix, a
Yeah.
whole bunch of different brands, but then I hold a Comet, and then I hold a Buzz, and then I hold a Wasp, or I hold whatever. Name your EMAC Truth or whatever.
Yeah.
They all feel a little bit differently in your head. It's not the same disc, even
Yeah.
if it's virtually the same disc. If you hold an EMAC Truth and a Buzz SS or whatever
Yeah.
you consider to be the same as that, it's not gonna in your head, it's not going to be the same disc. So
Yeah.
Right.
That's such an interesting way to look at it, Jeremy. I've never thought about that. I mean, I know I've spoken. Obviously, Tim said that at one point he had 7 Nate Sexton
Firebird.
Firebirds in his bag, and they kind of explain it. Yeah, obviously, the more beat in the disc gets, the more unstable it gets. So that's why they have that. But until Brendan just said it, then like not necessarily having the disc because it beats in, but just having it because it feels the same. You've got the same disc in your hand, you're throwing it, and it's that's kind of just has hit me there for a second. So it feels like I've just leveled up in my disc golf knowledge now. That's the reason for having multiple discs of the same, because of the feel.
yeah, like I'm not trying to get you to stop buying discs. I just want you to buy more of the exact same disc.
Yeah,
And then
there
if
you
it's
go.
wrong,
Yeah.
you just have to buy more of a different disc.
You want to hear something? I hear there's a secret word on the street. I don't know nothing. But I hear the secret word is horse feeder. But you didn't hear it from me.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 36 of Around the Basket. I am one of the hosts. I am Daryl, joined, as always, most of the time by my other co-host, Jeremy. How you doing?
Really happy to be the other co-host in the other time zone. Excited to be here. I'm kind of missing being beside you there, my friend.
Yeah, it's making for it's a little challenging, but we're professionals at this. We've been doing it long enough. We can overcome. We'll adapt. We'll improvise and then overcome, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah. Well,
I just
there's 2 things I want to mention. The first one I want to mention is Trevor Okrafka called you out there in the previous episode
you
about
seen that,
maybe
hey?
nursing that beer.
Yeah.
So, are you going to work a little bit harder on that?
Yeah, I kind of gauge by the guest. Like if the guest is kind of a bit, I don't know, maybe if they've got a drink, or we've had Kerry Neal on, obviously she's had a wine in her hand drinking sometimes, and I don't know if we've had too many people having a beer along with us. Sometimes we do. I think it was Chance Stad that did the chain out cocktail with us when we first introduced that. So I always kind of mirror the guest
Yes.
sometimes, or we try and be polite and not take a drink while we're on the main screen, right? So normally it's when the guest goes big screen, then that's our opportunity to drink our water or whatever. But I figured that Elaine didn't.
But on
wanna
Around
see
the
me-
Basket,
yeah, we can drink as much as we want. This is we got no rules over here, baby.
that's it. This is the
I-
Wild West at this point.
Yeah. I just want to bring up a comment that Dylan's in the chat here, and it's an oldie but a goodie, and it's always good to bring up. He says, "Horse feeder secret word is still top tier from Daryl."
I would
I-
agree 100%, Dylan. That one is for sure. And who knew when Miguel said it that it would live on infamously the way it has?
Yeah, and it's funny because the only reason the secret spy came into play was because we forgot to do it at the end of the episode. So
Mhm.
can you remember those days where I think we should bring it back? Maybe put a comment in the on the video, put down the secret word, because I think we used to get a few comments of people putting down the secret word to prove that they listened to the end of the show, but we forgot to put it out.
it
That was
happened.
that was back in the days where we used to post edit. So we forgot to say it on the show. I had to come up with something and, try to make it as entertaining as possible. I mean, it's no Surfer Dude or Mustache Man, but it's something.
Well, and when you say that, the Mustache Man came about that same way. Was we had um, interviewed Brendan McKinstry for the first time from BR
Yeah.
Disc Golf, and when we interviewed him that time, his internet was just the craps that at that time, and we ended up
Yeah.
losing a section of the interview.
Yeah.
So I just said, "Well, what are we going to do?" Because he said some really good stuff. So I tried to paraphrase it as best I could, and I got about 80% of it right.
Right.
And that was where Mustache Man came from.
Yeah. That was so funny though, the way that it stuck to your face. But I think maybe we need to bring it back, and I'll tell Dylan right now that maybe it'll make an appearance in the future. But you didn't hear it from me.
I love it. I
There you
love
go.
it.
Okay.
Well, we're sitting
So,
at a Patreon episode, right? We're sitting
mm-hmm.
still strong at about 32 members, and we
Yeah.
want everyone to kind of, we haven't grown, Patreon hasn't grown in a little while, and we're okay with that. We're really happy with the core that we've got, but it would be nice to see more members come in as we can, and as
Yeah.
we continue to try to figure out how to give them the best content that's going to appeal to the people who are checking us in after Chain Out Podcast. So
But I think what we probably should, and we do mention it on the Chain Out podcast, but we should also, um, kind of reiterate the point maybe a little bit more, is that the benefit of being in our Patreon, among
because you
the
get to
fact that
watch Daryl burp into the microphone.
it's a very gassy beer. Apart from the fact that you get to watch the the Patreon episodes live, you also get free entry into any competition that we do. So we should maybe in the
Yes.
future, maybe whether we do, I don't know if we're going to do it with the kick out disc,
Kids
that
in
is
Motion.
the Kids in Motion. But any one of the maybe one of the next discs that we give away, if it's not part of the 500, maybe we put it out to our Patreon listeners only.
Oh, that's good too. If we give them one
There you
that's
go.
more specific.
Dylan
Yeah,
knows auto entry into
yeah,
giveaways.
that's right. Well, Daryl, before we get into, I had Worlds down here that we could talk a little bit about that. But before that, I know that this is a separate episode from the Chain Out podcast one, but we always record this right after we do the Chain Out podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts? Elaine King, did it live up to what you were hoping it would be? I know I had a lot of high expectations, so
Yeah, no, it's always, it's one of those things that we've interviewed Scott Stokely, right? We've interviewed um people that have played
Brian
back in the
Henniger.
Brian Henniger back in the day that they played, when like Elaine said, when men were just bare shirt sort of thing. Um, but even though we kind of already know the answers to some of the questions, like how did you get on when there was no disc golf scene in UDisc? We obviously know that it was either word of mouth or there was flyers, or like Elaine said, you're getting on mailing lists and things like that. But it's always good just to get a different perspective of those questions from a different person. And Scott Stokely's experience of beginning roots of disc golf is going to be different to Elaine King's, and it totally was.
Yes. Well, and of course too is with them as well. Like, Scott was growing up in California and Elaine's growing up in Ontario, and there's some similarities
Oh,
in their both interesting starts with disc golf, but then there is a lot of differences as well too. But
yeah.
yeah, no, it's I was really excited, and I do remember that we did the 50th episode, and I said we asked who our dream guest would be, and I can't remember who you said, but I knew I had that answer ready, and I was like, Elaine King, the most winningest Canadian disc golfer ever. That would be amazing, and she's just so kind and nice, and just the way that she answered the questions, she was thorough and thoughtful about what she was saying. I always
Yeah.
love when we have a guest like that. So
Yeah. And like you said at the beginning, when we said, hey, Elaine, we're Chain Out Podcast. We do a little podcast up in Canada, or, in Canada. And she's like, yeah, I know. I've heard of you guys. We are like, Elaine King knows who we are. Yeah. So that was
it
kind
is
of
those
cool.
pinch me moments. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to throw it back to the chat here a minute because we were talking about the Patreon, maybe the giveaways and the bonus entries that people are maybe not aware of. Dylan, we've asked people in the chat before and we've put it out to say, we do this Patreon episode. Is this enough content for people that support us? We try and give them something back. We try and do, little shorts or things like that, but sometimes it always doesn't come around to whenever we get to release stuff. But Dylan kind of put in a good suggestion here, saying that maybe tiers 2 and 3, you get a little bit extra. So even if you subscribe at the Chainlink tier, you
Yes.
get automatic entry. But if you're at tiers 2 and 3, maybe you get 5 entries, 3 entries, or maybe there's something extra that they get for those extra levels. Which I think, we
Right?
did when we first signed up for Patreon. We have to create the tiers and we say what is
Hmm.
available to people at those tiers, and we had put it down. The first dibs on the chain out, or first invitation to the chain out tournament whenever that comes around, that we're actually going to put a tournament on. We will get it on eventually, but we were trying to work on the
Yes,
format of what it
definitely.
would be, like a pro, but you as an amateur, you get to pay your event fee and you get to pick which pro you want to play with, or whatever the tournament was going to be. And then it was going to be, well, then you get discount on any merch that we get and sell. But as of right now, we don't have any merch because we're still waiting on certain things to happen, and we'll explain that in maybe in the coming weeks. But so there's all these things that we have put in place that if you sign up for different tiers, you do get access to these different things. It's just that they haven't actually come to fruition yet.
That's true. Well, speaking of what you've said there, is I want to put a little bit more out there, but I don't want to put too much, and just say one of the things that we've been talking about for a long time is getting a new logo. And that has taken time, but
Yeah,
it's moving forward. That's all I want to say is it's moving forward.
right. So pretty much you just told them everything.
No, I didn't tell them everything. I
You
didn't tell
said
them what it looks like. I didn't tell them if we've accepted it yet or if we're what it is.
right.
Or just said that, hey, we're working on something.
Yeah. Well, I think we always have been teasing the fact that we wanted to get a new logo, and
Hmm.
we may have even said who it was from or maybe where it was getting designed from or whatever. But yeah, it stagnated for a while, but now it seems to be moving the ball rolling again. So we're excited once we figure out the details. We'll be
Yeah.
it'll be good.
No, I'm excited for that. Now, the other thing too, and I don't know if I should throw this idea out there because we never committed to it, but if Dylan's the one who's catching this episode right now from the Patreon,
Hmm.
should I throw that other just float it out there? It's not anything written in stone because neither of us agreed to do it, or should I not even bring up things like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. Give me a hint.
Well, just that I was saying about maybe what Patreon could become with the episodes if they were pseudo live or however I was talking about it.
No, don't say that because I don't like that idea.
All right, sorry, Dylan. You'll have to catch me on the course next time, and I'll tell you about it there.
Yeah, and don't agree to it because it's more work for me, and it's
Just this much, this much.
yeah, but no. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that right now. It's not a good.
All right, well, let's talk about Worlds then.
Let's go on to Worlds.
Yeah, how much
So
of Worlds did you end up watching? It looks like Dylan was saying it was such a good watch. Did you catch much of it?
I hardly caught any of it. I didn't even watch any of the extra. I didn't watch any of the after, the after show post produced or anything like that. Dina's in the chat as well. She just got back from league, so hi Dina.
Oh, Dina,
How
well, hey, good to see you. Go back and watch the Elaine King episode when you get time or when you're doing some disc dyeing. You'll love it.
did you have a chance to watch any of the Worlds?
Yeah, this could be a great conversation. I probably watched as much as you or a little more. No, I caught a little bit of clips here and there, but I didn't get to sit down and watch it, not in any full format. But everything I saw looked like, some of the things we watch, some of the tournaments, and we'll catch the Jomez Pro afterwards. But
Mm-hmm.
then there's a tournament like this one where so much happened, and it would have been one that we should have been watching.
Right. Dylan said that he watched every minute of it. which is surprising
Yeah,
because it
he
was on
just
at midnight to 6 a.m. for, kind of, midnight to 9 or whatever it was. So I know it was either you stayed up late or you went to bed early and got up early to watch it.
Well, I think I even saw was on one of the rounds, Sophia was starting at 12:30 a.m.
Right.
our time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it was late, late. But when I was looking around at that, like one of the things that I thought was pretty cool was, and I think you'd agree that Ganon, its time and getting his first worlds, that was pretty an amazing accomplishment after Isaac taking it the last 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and Calvin coming off a big win at the last major last week. You think that, you got to go with the hot hand. So you think, my money, I think, but you never want to bet against Ganon, but I would have thought maybe, Calvin's kind of settled into a rhythm now. He's got it. He's in Europe. He likes these courses. Maybe he would be, maybe he was in for a shout to win, but yeah, you never bet against Ganon.
No. And it kind of takes away some of those conversations that were out there at times to say, that people like to say, are you still a winner if you don't have a Worlds? So you win all these other tournaments, but you don't
Hmm.
win on the biggest stages. And then as soon as you can get a win like that, that just quiets all of that noise and then starts to put him really where he belongs in my mind. And I
Hmm.
think I had saw it recently too, Daryl. There was a post about the people who have won the most worlds events. And of course, Elaine is right up there near the top with the number of people, and Climo's up there and
Yeah.
everything else. But apparently, it's a really elite club to win worlds more than once. Like
Yeah.
it's just there isn't that many people. So now Ganon's got his first one under his belt. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And how old is he?
Yeah, I think he's 17, 18. No, is he? He's what it is he's much younger than you think he is because he does appear that he's acting older. He feels like he's getting a little more mature now, but
Yeah.
he's a
He's still
lot
young.
younger than we think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Um,
Hmm.
Dina's in the chat and she says that she watched the FPO live at about 6 a.m. Sunday morning, then watched the Jomez coverage as well because she loves those two hot geese.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got two of the probably the most passionate disc golf watchers there in the fact that they both watched Worlds, Dylan and Dina, and then they're
Yeah.
sticking around to have this conversation with us too.
Well, I'll just put up Dylan's comment 20, and then you can just
Okay.
decipher that and figure out what that comment means because I have no idea what he's in reference to. What does 20 mean? Does that reference? Oh, Ganon is 20.
That's how old Ganon is. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
Dylan.
So he is a little bit older. All right. So the
Right,
time
but
is
he's
going by. He's 20 now.
yeah. I guess because it feels like he's younger because we've been talking about him for so long and he's been a teenager for so long, but he's actually, it's been
And he
so
didn't get
many.
his license for so long, all of those
Right.
things.
But now it's the fact that the fact that we have been talking about him for so long, for 2 or 3 years when he was 18, 19. Obviously now he's grown up, so he's actually turned 20 now. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and then so let's ask Dina and Dylan what they think and what you thought about it was seeing Ezra Aderhold's huge round as well. Like one of the things
Yeah.
I saw that came out of him with that hot round was I believe it wasn't it that hole 18 that we were talking about last week, that really nice hole with the tiered um, green
Yes.
that went up to the basket. And
Yeah.
he was already having a heater of a round, and he still putted it from like the bottom of the hill and sunk it from there. And it was like, wow, like when you're on fire and you're
Yeah.
just feeling it, there's nothing stopping you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can speak to the chat as well and say what did you think of Ezra's round? Um Ezra, I think he's one of those guys that I think he's getting better. Like when I first started watching disc golf, like he was fairly good, but then he kind of dropped off for a little bit. I don't know what exactly the reasoning was, but maybe just everybody else just got better. But like he kind of dropped down. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I got his bag was because he was like a hot disc golfer at the time. but maybe it was only for a couple tournaments or first part of a year or a first season or whatever. But he kind of dropped off the radar a bit. He was finishing a little bit lower down the leaderboard, but all of a sudden, he had a good start to the year. Now he's won his first tournament just recently, and then putting in a hot round like that, pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
And as Dylan's saying, best round of disc golf ever played. And the one thing that we've always known about Ezra as well is that he's got to be one of the most muscular, would you say, or the most
Oh,
fit disc
hench,
golfers out there?
yeah. Best round of disc golf ever played.
Yep.
I don't know. You think that's a better round of disc golf than Macbeth's 18 under?
And
I'm
then on
asking.
top of that, he's played every single DGPT and major this year, and the only
Yeah,
one who hasn't dropped out. So it's yeah, he's having a good year for sure.
and he's vegan as well. If I'm not mistaken, like I think he's that. Like he only eats he eats a lot of beans.
Mm.
That's kind of the joke running that between him and whoever he's normally Goose or whoever, but whenever he goes to Chipotle, I think he's always getting beans. I think that's one of the things that 100 times better than Macbeth's 18 under is what Dylan is saying. That's crazy. Why
Well,
do you
then you're
think?
going back and watching that round.
Well, I mean, okay, it's on a tougher course, and it's against a stronger field, maybe. I don't know. What would you say? It was better than Macbeth's 18 under? Like that's never been done before, I don't think, has it? I think there was a big thing about
Well,
Macbeth being the first one to shoot 18 under, and no one's ever done it
to
since.
me, to me, I think I would put Ezra's round as well as that the higher difficulty of that course, how awesome that course is, and just at the world level, it's one of those things that it probably had it been the last round and he won it, maybe you would be putting it in the same range as the holy shot and stuff as something to remember. But because it
Mm-hmm.
was in the middle of the tournament and he didn't
Right.
end up finishing first, you're not thinking of it that same way. But being that Dylan watched the whole
I
thing
can
start to finish,
I
maybe
can
it.
separate. Yeah, I can separate it to be that it was a great round in the middle of a tournament. It doesn't have to be the final round of a tournament for the win to make it the greatest round ever. And I admit that
Mm.
Macbeth's 18 under was on an easier course in an easier tournament than his 16 under. Was it round two? Round two or round three? I'm not
Right.
too sure. So yeah, Dylan just kind of is, stating the facts that the couple
He's
of
making the
Macbeth
case.
rounds are par three now, and then they were a par four then. So yeah, he was getting
Yeah.
birdies on holes that he would probably be getting pars now, which is true because I think Sullivan Tipton
Well,
was it that also scored. Like I think he scored like it was like 16 or 15 under, but if you went back and put it into Macbeth's pars, he would have also scored 18 under.
r- right. Well, and again, just as that little snapshot, Daryl, just think of
Mm-hmm.
Ezra's so hot and he's playing so well in that round that he's like, yes, I'm going to run this putt from the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of
Yeah.
this mountain, essentially, and I'm
Yeah.
going to run it with every chance of roll away. And I've got this hot round going, but yet I'm still going to run that putt anyways.
Yeah, I think you've got to at that point, don't you? If you're on that much of a
Yeah.
hot round, you got to think that you just can't miss. And if you're on that much of a hot round, does layup even come into? Yeah, Jake Mon, sorry. Yes. Um, does layup even come into your mind? Like, do you even contemplate should I lay up? No, there's no question. You're running the putt anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, that was awesome about it. And then if you look more on the FPO side, what are your thoughts too about Own being a Masters player
Yeah.
and taking down the FPO Worlds against everyone from 15-year-old Lita to
Yeah.
Sophia Donica to
Yeah.
Cadence Burge, everybody who's trying to come up and has these big throws and these longer distances and everything else.
Yeah.
Yet Own, with her super accuracy and her consistency and her great putting, comes out and takes that win.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's not, I don't want to say it's hard to say, um, I just totally lost my train of thought halfway through that sentence. Um,
No, that's okay.
but
But
I was
like
going to
with
say
Own taking
something,
that down.
yeah, something along the lines of like with her experience and everything like that, like you can never write her off, no matter who's in the field,
Hmm.
and we've seen it at the previous event. I think it was Julia Fours was another young European disc golfer that kind of like had the hot round, or she was on lead card, I think, for second round. And then Ida Melise, or Ida, I forget her exact name, Ida something, but she's a Norwegian player that plays for Innova. She was at Junior Worlds last year. Like she had a hot round. She was on the lead card. I think she was on feature card, and then I think she was on lead card as well. So like so many young European
Hmm.
disc golfers, plus all of your pros that come over as well that compete week in week out against Own as well. And then for her to be,
Yes.
at the age and the division that she's allowed to play in, and then just to rise to the top and be able to take down the win on the world stage is, yeah, just phenomenal.
And as we were saying earlier too, is she already won the Masters Worlds this year. So you have her holding the FP40 World Championship title
Yeah,
and the FPO World Championship title in the same year. Like that's insane.
yeah. And like you were mentioning, like it'd be interesting to go back and try and compare and figure out if anyone's done that before.
Yeah. Or if anyone's gone one step further and they've held FP, oh no, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do FP50 and FP40 and because they're
No,
two it's the same tournament. So
exactly. Yeah,
no.
yeah. I don't know if there's
You'd
any
have
other
to win
tournaments.
Junior Worlds, Junior Worlds, Master Worlds,
I think that would.
and Worlds.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to enter into those tournaments if you have that all in one year. Then I'm calling. Yeah, I'm flagging that play.
I think you know what you could do is you could win what Own did. You could win Masters and you could win Worlds,
Hmm.
and then you could win doubles at
I
both.
was just gonna say you
You
could win
could win
doubles.
longest drive at both, and you could win the putting competition at both, and that would be the grand slam of winning Worlds, I think.
Yeah. You know what? I love our chat because Dylan just brought up a comment here, and it kind of leads us right in. I mean, I know maybe not. We're not finished with talking about Own winning
Oh
and
no, it's fine. We can keep
but
going.
yeah, the comment that he brought up is just leading us right into our next question. So I mentioned about Ida, and he said that hole 16 cost Ida the title, and that kind of leads us
Yeah.
into the question. I kind of put it in the description saying, can one hole make or break a course?
Yeah.
Can one hole
Well, and
make a course great and be like that's the one shot that you need, and that's the one hole that is going to make or break your round, or is it too tough and it just breaks the course and it's not a fun course to play?
well, and I think Dylan is exactly right when he says it because when you look at what she took was round 4, she took a 13 on hole 16 and then
That
still
was
managed to get to a playoff with Own.
so I know it's only one letter difference, but you're talking about Lida, and I think Dylan's talking about Ida.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's
But
talking
yeah,
about Ida
I
Melise, or is he talking about Lida? I wish every
no, I
four
think he's talking
plus
about
round
Lida. I
tournament
think he
had a
might have
hole
missed.
like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But no, when I
and
looked and I saw Lida took a 13 on round 4.
yeah, it could be lighter then, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got here, you
So,
said round one, Missy took a 14 as well. And then on
mhm.
the MPO side, two other different people took 13s as well.
Yeah, Paul Kranz and Shane McCullen. But when you look at it, that 13 that she took was only less than Missy's 14. So that was one of the highest scores taken on hole 16, and yet she was still in the competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Leadermaki.
So, hmm well, that's to
So
me
what do
that
we
was
think?
just
What do we think
you
about a
know
hole like that? Because that's we've seen it a couple of years ago with AB as well, right? That's where he lost his tournament.
hmm
Like, is it? And Dylan's saying that he wishes every 4-round tournament had a hole like this. Being on hole 16, it's near the end of the round on hole 4, 3 holes to go. Can you throw it all away? Is that pressure? Can you put the pressure on your opponent if you've got the box? Or you have the longest drive, because obviously it's a par 3, par 4. If you can get your longest drive, or even if you throw the shortest drive, that's what I'm trying to say. If you throw the shortest drive and you throw first and you land the island, then everyone else has to make the island. If they don't make the island, suddenly you've put the pressure on them, and they're just going to keep missing the island, missing the island, missing the island, and then the next thing you know, you end up with a 13 or 14.
yeah, and that's it, and it's such a separator.
Yeah,
And I think there's room for that on courses, and I think there should be those types of holes. I don't ever want to play them, like, and I know you hate it when I bring this up, but just remember how you felt when you took a number that was high. And I think it
that's
can
it, folks.
be
That's
good in a
it for
world.
tonight.
No, but what I want to say is in a competition, especially in a world level one, where we just talked to Elaine King and said, as much as it is about your physical skill set and your stamina mental or physically, it's also your stamina mentally. And how do you go into that tournament and take that score on a hole and
Hmm.
then still go into the next hole and just try to rebuild and continue on? And not let your go, okay, well, I guess I wasted a whole trip to Finland because I took a 13 on my first round on a hole. So I think
Yeah,
there is a good place for holes like that.
yeah, and I do like it because it is that score separator, right? It's the if you can land it, great, you're ahead of the field. And the good thing about that hole as well is that there's no drop zone. It's a rethrow, so that's where the scores add up because
Right.
people will just be throwing discs and discs and discs, and the one disc that they wanted to throw for that shot, well, they've wasted it because it's in OB. There's no going and getting it and coming back. Like, they
hmm
have to throw another disc. So they're throwing a different disc that they probably wouldn't throw on that shot. Maybe they have similar discs, but it's not the one, it's not their first choice. So they're dropping down to a second choice disc. And then that one goes OB. Now they're coming down to a third choice disc. And they get to a point where, if you're taking a 14, how many discs have you thrown to stick the island? Like, you're probably 6 or 7 discs down, and you're not throwing the right disc for that shot. You have to then make the disc do the work to get on the island. So it's getting tougher and tougher every time you miss.
hmm Now, would you make it, and if you would, so this is a two-part question.
Hmm.
Would you make it so there's only so many throws you can make where you miss the island before they put you
No,
to either a drop zone? Or would you have them put you to consecutively closer drop zones? Or
no.
do you prefer the just, nope, you're gonna throw as long as you have to throw?
Yeah, because there's ways to manipulate that. People will intentionally throw. They know if it's an island that they can't make, or if they've tried never made it in practice, people will then intentionally just throw OB, go to the drop zone, or throw 2 shots OB, go to the drop zone, whatever it might be, to just minimize the damage and get off the hole. Whereas if you have
Mm,
to stay where you are and you have to stay there until you make it, then that's everyone's in the same position. If you can't make the island,
wow.
and we're talking about pros, right? This difference between me and you, where we can stand on a tee pad and throw at a par 3 and throw 10 shots and have a separation of probably 20 or 30 feet. Some can be inside the bullseye, some could
Right.
be circle 1, some could be circle 2. These are pros where they should be able to dial their discs in to probably 5 to 10 feet of where they're aiming for.
hmm
You would think.
Yeah, you are right. We're talking about a high elite level. And we
Yeah.
always talk about that when we talk about um, all the
Okay.
different levels of player from our local pros. And
I obviously know you didn't do the research on this, but it's a question to ask. How many people took bogey or worse?
right.
So, and it was the same
I
with
think
Sprinkle Valley.
well, we could pull that up.
People were complaining about
Mhm.
that being a really hard hole, but 2 people birdied it, and one being Chantel, and Rebecca Cox,
Mhm.
I think, was the other one. So, the fact that 2 people birdied it proves that it's a hole that you can birdie. They didn't get
Right.
lucky. They threw the shots, they placed their shots, and they made it, and they landed. They birdied the hole. So, if we look at hole 16, how many people birdied it? How many people bogeyed it? And then how many people took more than plus 10? Or plus 10.
Right. Well, what if we go round, let's take a look here. Round 1. This is round 1 looking at oh, you finished it. Good job. So, here's the percentages if I get to the course stats, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hole 16, 14% took more than a bogey.
Okay.
28% took a bogey. So now you're looking at 42% of the field was worse than. No, that's actually better than par. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So just under half the
Yeah,
field parred or better.
that's right. And
And
then
only 14% was
14% par.
bogey or worse.
Yeah.
Oh, 14%
No.
pars.
21 and 44% were bogey or worse.
44% was bogey or worse?
Yeah. And 42% was birdie or better.
So it's like 50-50.
Yeah, it was split. And it was,
Yeah.
and the thing about it, when you look
Not-
at this is that one hole where each chunk
Mhm.
looks similar. So it was like the birdie chunk,
Right.
the bogey chunk, the par chunk, they all looked very similar kind of thing.
Yeah. It's probably not that bad of a hole. It's just that we're used to seeing those numbers being more like 60 to 70% par, 30% birdie, and 10 or
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't know math, but like a lot more people parring and birdieing holes on other courses because they're that easier. That birdies are gets, pars are the worst case scenario. You really shouldn't be bogeying it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm with you. I'm thinking the distribution on that hole, once you look at it,
Yeah,
it is the only hole on the course that is distributed in that way. So
right.
it's a good hole. I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. It makes the headlines because at any other at Deglow on a tough hole, if people double bogey it, then that's a bad score for them. It just happens to be if you take a bad score on this hole, you're taking a 13 or a 14.
Yeah, and you're hating your life for a little bit too.
Yeah, you're contemplating why you came to Europe to play disc golf if you're just going to throw it all away on one hole in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then speaking of people contemplating and such, it was interesting to see that Krista ended up dropping out of Kristen ended up dropping out of the tournament as well. Yeah, Kristen Latt.
Yeah. Yeah, she posted on social media that she's been dealing with a few things and it just came to a head and she realized that now is the time to take a break and deal with things that she's been putting off and trying to fight through. So yeah, hopefully we see her back out there again soon.
Yeah, I would agree. And you just think about it, is everything, all the good that she's done for the sport, and then all the pressure that any person would be in. Like, let's say tomorrow you were the, you were the best player in Canada and you were sponsored by all these people and everybody was looking to Daryl for everything. And when you went somewhere, everybody was like, can I beat Daryl? Like, there's so much pressure involved in all of that yeah, I think it's good that she's taking some time.
I think maybe we need to get a bit of insight. Dylan, what does that feel like when you show up on the course and everybody just wants to beat you because you're the best player? And
yeah, Dina as well, for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've never played against Dina, but I'm sure she'd
Yeah.
whoop me into shape.
Yeah. I will, Daryl, I did put a little hidden comment in our notes that I wanted to tell you about. Is I
Yeah.
did the work and I looked through all of the MPO rounds and all of the FPO rounds, and I have a justification for you.
Okay.
There were so many eagles and there
Yeah.
were no aces. So
So
what does that tell you?
the aces are more rare than eagles.
At Worlds they were, because there wasn't a single ace, but there were a heck of a lot of eagles. So you are justified.
There you go. Thank you for doing that, Jeremy.
Raises, yeah, raise your hands in the air.
Yeah.
The scoring separation, if we were only doing a fantasy picks for Worlds tournaments, it
Yeah.
would be correct.
Yeah. There you go. There you go, Dylan. The points are
Well,
right. We're leaving them.
yeah. All right, Daryl. The other thing I had saw was I did, out of all the things about Worlds that I didn't watch, one of the things that I
Hmm.
zipped through and I watched kind of on fast forward was I saw the opening ceremonies. And when I looked at the opening ceremonies, Brian Henniger, our own Brian Henniger, was out there,
Yeah.
and he was helping do some of the presentations and the presenting the different countries and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I did notice that one Tommy G, Mr. Thomas Gilbert, he was the guy who was carrying the Canadian flag through,
Right. I still don't know
and
if he's
they
happy with
totally
that.
got. No, we don't know, and I'm not going to say anything next week. I'll say next on the podcast, fresh from China, is Tommy G and Sophie D. How you doing?
Okay, can we start a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter? How much is it going to take for Jeremy to say that next week?
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
But the one thing in that opening ceremonies is they were troopers because they got poured on with
Hmm.
rain. Like you
Yeah.
look and you see Annika Sten walking and she's just soaked, waving the flag, and Evelina's just having a big smile on her face, but just they were just having fun with it at that point because they were
Yeah.
just so wet in there carrying the flags and
Yeah.
yeah.
So Dylan said
So
that he enjoyed the closing celebrations, acknowledging first and second and third.
okay, good,
Yeah.
good. And did you enjoy when they showed in the opening ceremonies who won the doubles and there were three second place teams and they all
Right.
decided to cram themselves onto
Yeah.
the second level of the podium?
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of says
Yeah.
that it's like the Olympic style almost with the podiums and everything like that. But yeah,
Hmm.
those three second place teams for doubles.
That was good.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of anthems, Daryl. Anthem after anthem after anthem.
Yeah. That's what happens when it's on a
No, it was good.
world stage. It's not like the World Series where the same. It's isn't it funny how the World Series of baseball always ends up being two Americans in the final? Never understood that.
Yeah. But yeah, but I think overall, having the first Worlds outside of North America in ever or however long it's been, I
Hmm.
think Europe showed us how it should be done, and that I think it should be done more often.
Yeah.
I don't think this should be a one and done type event to take it outside of the country of North America.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like Dylan says, 45 countries. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think
we do have a cheat sheet from you, Dylan.
yeah. Jeremy normally does his
It's the
research,
comments.
but yeah, exactly. The comment section is what was all. Patreon's all about the comments.
That's right. Well, it's good. Well, Daryl, you got anything else to cap off Worlds, or maybe Dina or Dylan, before we move on to this quiz I've put together for you?
No, I think we should get on with it. I think you're right. I think we should have had a call-in guest, and I think we should have had Dylan on on the podcast because I think he had world's trivia knowledge down to a T.
He would have brought it up for us as well, for sure. Okay, Ready. So this quiz is a little bit different for you.
Hope I don't need to go to the new Disc Who quiz or new Disc Who Dis, right?
No, this is just going to be, well, the only thing I want out of that is I don't want you to spend hours trying to come up with answers.
Because if I push that button,
Right.
so
Okay, no, that's fine. We can continue on with this.
I can put a timer up on. So you want it timed? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you could, no, you don't need to time it. I just,
Okay.
as
All right. No timer.
Dylan says,
Let's just go
Jeremy wants to get to sleep for work tomorrow, LOL.
for it. All right. Let's go for the quiz then. Let's wrap it up. Go for it.
Okay, so this quiz that I put together is a little bit different, and it's the front half of the quiz is different from the second half of the quiz.
Okay.
And I think I might change this one if you like it for future ones, but I thought I would just try this one out for you.
All right. Let's
So
get to it.
what I have
Mm-hmm.
is I have a quiz that goes from 1 speed disc for question 1,
Right.
and the 10th question is 10 speed
10-speed
disc.
disc. Okay.
So
I'm following
yeah,
along.
so we work our way up: 1 speed, 2 speed, 3 speed.
Okay.
So for the first 5 questions, what I've done
Yeah.
is I've given you a choice between 2 discs, but the number that I'm going to give you as your clue is the addition of all of their disc flight numbers put together and all added up together.
Okay. I'm
Does
with
that
you.
make sense?
Yeah. So
Okay.
for example.
So here you go. So your first.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as an example with this one, in some of these discs you're going to know, some you're not, and that's why we might need to adjust this to your
Okay.
knowledge set. But for
Right.
this first time, here we go.
Yeah.
So for your 1 speed disc question,
Right.
the number is 5.
Okay. I know what the disc
take your,
is.
so you have either an elevation armadillo
Yeah.
or you have a Castoplast
Oh.
Berg X. Which
Okay.
one is?
I thought
You know what I
the
mean?
disc that I had was the birdie. 'Cause I think that's 1400.
Ah,
So a Castoplast Berg, did you say?
Berg X. I
Berg
said a Berg
X.
X
And the total number is
or
4.
an elevation
Or
armadillo.
no, the total
No,
number is
total
5.
number is 5.
5.
Hmm.
Um,
And
a
only one
Berg
of them is
X.
right. I never
Yes.
did any trick questions for you.
Yes. Well, I think a Berg is like 1100, and I think a Berg X is 1102 or 1103. So if it's 1103, it could be a Berg X. An armadillo. I did have an armadillo because Brendan lent me one, but I didn't really pay attention to the numbers. So I am going to say Berg X.
All right, you are 1 for 1.
Oh,
Berg X's numbers are 1112.
oh, okay. So I was
And that's
close.
how we got to 5.
Yep.
And armadillo's 1201.
Okay.
Question number 2. The
Mhm.
number is 8. So this is your 2-speed question.
Yeah.
The number is 8. Is it a Streamline Pilot or is it a Lat 64 Faith?
I'm gonna go straight in with the Faith because I believe a Pilot is 240, either 1.5 or 1. So that's going to be like 5 or 6. So I'm going with the Faith.
All right, now I'm going to tell you I got these from Try Discs, so let's just keep that in mind in case they're
Okay.
right or wrong. The answer is Pilot,
Really?
2501.
2501.
Versus a Faith was 2301. So,
All right.
okay.
3-speed question.
Getting into something that you might be a little more familiar with. Your
Okay.
3-speed question. The number is 9.
9. Okay.
Is it a Innova Aero or is it an Axiom Envy?
Ooh, 9. An Arrow. Well, I think an Arrow is 3400. I think. Or maybe 350. It's not 36. It does have a lot of glide. Is it 3600? No, I think a 3.6. Yeah, it could be because my. What was the other one?
Envy.
An Envy. 9. No, I'm gonna go with the arrow because I believe it ends in 00 and I think it's 3.6. So arrow is
Ding,
my
ding, ding, ding.
yeah.
But how could I was surprised when I checked that one out that it's a 3.6. Like, how do you have a 3 speed with a 6 glide? I guess you have a glitch that's a 1.7, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then the MV was close though. It's 3.302. So
Okay. Yeah.
okay. Two more of these questions. Just
Yeah.
humming right along.
Okay. 4
Okay,
speed.
so the next one is your 4 speed. Number is 10. So we
Do
went
I
8, 9, 10.
I don't know if I know any 4 speed discs. Okay, go ahead.
So you have a choice between an Innova,
Okay.
which is the Rancho Rock,
Oh, I have one of those.
or is it the Prodigy A2?
And what number is it? 10. No, 9. 10.
10.
The
Yep.
Rancho Rock is 4403. So it has to be the Prodigy.
Bam, you're getting good at this, my friend. That's 3 for 4.
There you go. Is it
Okay,
3 for 4?
so for your yeah,
Okay.
you got the Berg, you got the Pilot, right?
No, I didn't get the Pilot. I said the other
No, you
one.
didn't get the Pilot, but you got the Arrow, and then you got the A2.
Yes, correct. Yeah. 3 out of 4.
Okay. So for your 5 speed disc, the
Yep.
number is 11 and a half.
Ooh. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You have the Elevation Nimbus
Mm-hmm.
and you have the Streamline Runway.
I think I had a runway, or I looked at runways. See, the 0.5 is throwing me off because I don't know any elevation discs. I've only owned a koi, and I don't know what the numbers are on a koi. But the 0.5, if anyone ever talks about 0.5 numbers, it's always MVP Axiom Streamline because they tend to put those 0.5s on their flight discs. So without any knowledge of elevation, I'm gonna have to say the runway just because I don't know elevation discs.
Well, then I got you with my trick because I thought that one would play into you because I
Right,
was looking for a disc that actually had a 0.5 as well. So
right.
elevation is the right answer because it's 550, 1.5.
Yeah.
And then Streamline Runways 540, 3.5. So yeah, I got you
I
on that one, but I
I
was trying to
I
get you.
yeah, exactly. I guess if I got in the mind of Jeremy, I would have thought that you're gonna expect me to say streamline and it would be the other one. So okay, you got me there.
Okay, so you went 3 for 5 out of the first half.
Right.
Second half, from 6 speed to 10 speed, your questions. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you an Innova disc
Okay.
and the Innova flight numbers. And
Okay.
then I'm going to give you 2 discs, and you have to figure out which one has the same flight numbers.
All right. Let's go for it.
Okay, so your 6 speed disc is the Leopard, not the Leopard 3, but the
Yeah.
Leopard, which is a 6.5 minus 2, 1.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to throw Innova, you could throw either an MVP relay or an MVP signal. Which would you throw if you wanted to throw a
Oh,
leopard?
I thought it was something to do with I had to guess the end of a disc. 6.5 -2 1 relay or signal. I'm going to say signal.
And it was a relay.
Ah.
Signal's close though. It's a 6.5 minus 3.1.
Oh, okay.
So it's just
I know
one
it
more.
was.
It's just a little bit more understable.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to do this one more than anything was just to give you an idea of what some discs that might surprise you were the same numbers as some of your Innova discs.
Right.
So if we go with your 7-speed disc,
Yeah.
the IT or the IT,
The it.
7 6 minus 2 1.
Yeah.
Doomsday Chemtrail
My goodness.
or a Lat 64 Mall.
Ooh. Now I know recently I think you bought a mall. Or you were thinking of
Hmm.
buying a mall. You did buy the mall,
No,
didn't
I
you?
do have one.
You did buy the
Yeah.
mall. And why did you say you wanted the mall? It was something that came up. Somebody threw it or was talking about it, and you were like, "Oh, that seems like a good disc." 7 6 minus 2. Like I don't know any Doomsday, so that could be the right disc, but I wouldn't know. So are you trying to trick me by saying it? Yeah, are you bringing up this obscure disc because I don't know it? But I actually think the mole is maybe understable. All right, I think it. All right, I think it's the Doomsday, but I'm gonna say the mole.
You should have went with your gut because it is the Doomsday. So if
Yeah.
you want to throw a chemtrail, a Lat 64 Mall is just a little more glide. It's a 7-7. So I think
Oh,
the
okay.
reason I bought it was because I wanted a little more understable river, but my
Mm.
river's so beat in that it's actually more understable than the Mall I bought.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. 3 more questions. We
Go
got
ahead.
the 8-speed. It's
Right.
a T-Bird 3,
T-Bird 3.
which is
Yeah.
an 8402.
2. Yeah.
How about these discs for you, Daryl?
You're gonna
You don't
give
want to
me
throw a
some.
T-Bird 3?
Go on.
You don't you don't want to throw a T-Bird 3 anymore, so why don't you try either a Mint Alpha
Okay.
or a Prodigy F2?
Hmm. All right. I'm gonna say the Alpha.
Yeah, you're right. You got it. The Prodigy
Yeah.
F2 is just a little bit more understable again. Okay,
Okay.
2 more left. Now
Yeah.
you're getting to the 9-speed. You got your trusty Firebird, a 9304 in your bag.
Yeah.
Which are you going to replace it with if you had to get out of Innova? You had to put in an Axiom Fireball or a Lat
Yes.
64 Pioneer.
No. Fireball.
It's
100%.
actually the Pioneer. It's the
Really?
Pioneer.
What's the Fireball? Unless
Yep.
it's like 9304.5.
It's 9.3.5, 0.3.5, but it's
Yeah.
way more stable than that. We both know the Fireball's hugely overstable.
Yeah. Man, I thought that
Okay,
was locked in for
last
this one.
one.
All right, go for it. I'm not doing so well in the
You got
back
a
half.
10-speed. Wow, this is the hardest quiz I've ever built, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so 10-speed. An Innova Monarch, which is a 10-5 minus 4, 1.
Wow. Never heard of a
Did
monarch.
you know that that was even a disc out there?
No. 10 5 negative 4 1, did you say?
Yes, yes.
Wow,
So
okay.
would you throw a Discmania TD2 or would you throw a Discraft Avenger SS?
You would throw the Avenger SS.
You'd want to, but you'd throw the TD2.
Really? What's the Avenger
It's all, but it
SS?
was so -3 instead of -4. So they're
Oh,
close.
okay. Yeah.
But anyways,
I don't know
I
if I
don't
got
know.
any
That
right
was
on the back
this
half.
was no, you guessed the signal. Well, your gut got it right with the chemtrail
Oh, that's right.
and you
No,
got the alpha right.
the Alpha I got right. The chemtrail I did not get right because I was like, my
Well, your
gut
gut
said,
did, but then you
yeah,
chose the other one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that, my friend, is a crazy little quiz that I came up with on the fly. So
Yeah, and I think if you knew the disc number, the flight numbers a bit better, you might be able to guess them. The only, obviously I used to throw Bergs all the time. I have a Berg X, so I knew the Berg. I know that some of those putt approach discs. When you went into the Innova side, I thought it was going to be all Innova that I might have a guess, but You were just giving me the flight number, and I had to figure out one of infinite number of random obscure manufacturers that it could have been.
Well, I guess the thing is as we play around like we have with all these different quizzes, it just shows you that the ones that have a little bit more fun to them are the ones where you have to kind of puzzle out, and that if you're I think the other way we were doing it was better, but this is an alternate type of option where we
Yeah,
can do questions with one or two choices, but it makes it hard when it comes down to statistical information.
yeah. I think, and it depends who you play with. If it's me or you, then maybe we don't know all these random, lesser known brands of disc and their flight numbers and things like that. But if we were to have Sam on the podcast,
Sam.
like he would know the numbers of these, obscure discs that he's probably either bags or he has thrown. So yeah, no, it was an okay quiz. I'll give you 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you're being generous, but hey, it was something for us to try.
Yeah, I will come up with
The
a
best
quiz for
part about
next
it
week.
was the theme from okay. The best
Yeah,
part about it was the theme of 1 speed to 10 speed.
yeah, yeah. I liked it. Ugh, excuse me.
Well, you know what else you might like, Daryl?
What might I like? Go ahead.
I think what you might like is I think if we headed to national, I can't do it.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay on Saturday, don't forget that if you sign up to our Patreon for any tier, you could watch live on the Wednesday when we record it. And then you can get in the chat and be involved like Dylan giving us all the cheat sheets for Worlds. But until next time, we appreciate every single one of you. And we will see you.
I think I've got it.
Oh, okay. Go for it then.
All right. Whether you're chasing birdies, double bogeys, or just out here perfecting
Plagiarism.
the art of tree love, remember, life like disc golf is all about the right release, the perfect follow through, and knowing when to let it fly. But until next time, keep your grip loose, your lines clean, and if your final putt is perfect, when you start walking up to that putt to grab it, we'll see you around the
Around the
basket.
basket.